very apt to name for the drama in an hour. No porkies on tonight's menu, although Wynn's getting ever so slightly carried away here on BBC One.
It's finals week on Celebrity Masterchef.
I don't like this already today.
Just the 5 best celebrity cooks remain.
I'll tell you a secret, right? I saw the trophy earlier today and I picked it up and I've had a selfie. So in my head, I've won Masterchef.
You can't go this far without backing yourself. But top 4 finish, I'm a Tottenham fan, so I'll take it.
I've never actually thought about winning it. Yeah, I would be very, very, very happy. I'd probably cry again, obviously. I'm nearly crying now at the thought of it.
Tonight, the heat is on.
This is burnt, this is burnt. Whoa.
I mean, that's a joke, isn't it?
At the end of the week, one of them will be crowned Celebrity Masterchef champion.
They have come such a long way. Watch this space, because there are some very strong cooks emerging.
I want to see them push themselves. This is no time to play it safe.
It's early morning, and the finalists have arrived in the heart of rural East Sussex, where they will face their toughest challenge yet. Today, they'll be responsible for catering a very special lunch, cooking from a kitchen like no other.
Welcome to finals week and welcome to the beautiful South Downs here in Sussex. This is Hunter Gather Cook, and here they take the best that nature has to offer and they turn it into delicious dishes. It's actually here that the nation's top chefs come to learn how to forage and to cook over flame. And that's exactly what we want you to do today. We want you to cook a feast over flame for some specially invited guests. Out in those hills are 20 of the country's top scouts, and they are completing their survival badge. And when they get here, as you can imagine, they are going to be very, very hungry.
You are going to learn how to forage, you're going to master fish and meat butchery, and you're going to have a lesson in cooking over flame. Jamelia and Wynn, you'll be on the fish course.
Oh my gosh.
Luca and Max, you're on the meat course. Superb. Amy, you're doing dessert. Dessert over fire. You 5 have a huge amount of work to do, and remember, it is finals week. We will be watching. Ladies and gentlemen, off you go. Today is not a day for a sausage which is burned on the outside and raw in the middle. Today is about something completely different.
Fire, I believe, is the most difficult thing to cook with because it's so hard to regulate.
They're going to learn how to cook amazing food in a wood-fired oven, over fire, on coal, or just simply by smoke.
Guiding the chefs today is Hunter Gather Cook founder and head chef Nick Weston. Nick traded in his career as a top chef in London to go back to basics in the countryside.
I lived in a treehouse for 6 months. All the things, the hunting, the fishing, the foraging, cooking over fire, which was my daily life. I was like, let's put it together and then people might want to come and learn about it.
Come on, guys, we need to get ourselves some dry tinder.
Before any cooking can start, Nick and his team will help the celebs learn the basics of fire building and foraging.
This stuff is called cramp ball fungus. So we were actually going to use our fire steel on this mushroom, and it's going to take the spark and turn it into an ember.
I thought I was one with nature when I was a kid, but nowadays, I don't know, I've just gone soft, I think, being in a boy band and all that. It just doesn't do you good for foraging.
So what exactly are we looking for?
Just going to go for some classic nettles, and we're going to try and find some ground ivy as well.
It's interesting to learn about the plants, but also the flavours you don't get in other places. There is an adventure behind wild food.
I mean, nettles in my head are just things that you're supposed to stay away from. So to be picking them to put into food, yeah, messes with your mind a little bit.
How cool, though, to do a dinner party and say, I've made some nettle soup that I got from the hedge this morning.
Today, the most important thing that they do is get their fires lit and then manage them. Because unless they've got that fire, they have nothing to cook on. See how I've lit that there? Is that lit?
Yes.
Place it in there.
Woo!
Right, so then you get fire.
I'm an outdoors man, but if I can get home very quickly. I don't know if this is a bit of me.
That's good, that's good.
Yo!
Go, yes!
I'm weirdly excited, even though it's really daunting. I can't believe I'm on my own, though. That just feels mean. I feel like I'm in labour. Big breath. Ooh. Yay!
With ingredients foraged and fires lit, the celebs have just 3 hours to prep and cook their complex dishes, which will then be served to the scouts on sharing platters.
Plank trout. So you've got to fillet and pinbone the trout. Place the trout flesh side down and nail it in 5 points.
Oh, my gosh.
Then, wild garlic and ground ivy roasty cakes. Beetroot steaks. Then there's a wild garlic and chili dipping sauce and a caper butter.
And there's more.
And a nettle tempura. There's loads to make. I thought it'd be a bit of fish on a plank.
Win and Jamilia's first job is to carefully remove and debone the trout fillets.
I feel like they've thrown us in the deep end when I ain't got a clue. Oh, this is horrific.
How we done, guys?
I have no clue what I'm doing, and I just tried to do what I see you guys do on the telly, and
Right.
it's not easy, is it?
OK.
This is actually your fault.
It's my fault. Can you hold up that skeleton for me? That's quite a lot of fish left on there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Right. OK, though. So our scouts, I think, are going to be, what they call it, slim pickings. But now we are where we are. Make sure there's no bones in it.
Do
the
the
good
best
thing
that
is
I can
it's
with
been
this.
filleted in such a way there's probably no bones in there anyway. So that's OK.
I'm actually a genius, John.
You're
is that
a
what
genius.
you're saying?
That's right. You're an absolute genius. That's it. Perfect.
Where's the venison at? We're not hunting that, are we?
Max and Luca have got the meat course. Platted venison served with a burnt ash salsa, wild garlic mayonnaise, flatbread, wedges and aubergine steaks. It's a huge amount of work to do.
The boys' first job is to fire roast their 5 different vegetables for the burnt ash salsa.
Burnt ash salsa is a wonderful thing. Flavour-wise, you get a rich smokiness.
You just whack everything on there, and after a while, it'll be basically burnt, and then it'll be ready.
You want to have that kind of smoky flavour in it, and that's what you get from the char.
It's a bit hard on the eyes, but apart from that, it's fine. Oh, God. Woo!
While Max battles with the smoke, Luca's taking charge of making the flatbreads that will be served with the venison. The dough needs to be carefully measured and kneaded before being left to prove for at least 2 hours.
This is hard work. It's just very sticky. So I just got to keep working it till it's a shiny finish. I know I'm working hard because my table seems to be sinking 6 feet under, but I'm sure we'll be all right, me and Max, the dream team.
I can't see.
I think you just got to work a lot harder and smarter today.
Mate, is that right? Because they look as burnt as you like.
I know, but it's an ash salsa, innit? So it's supposed to be burnt to ash almost, and then all the good stuff's behind it.
So what do you make of this, honestly?
Do you know, honestly, apart from, like, the smoke getting in your eyes, I've actually really enjoyed doing this.
What about butchering the meat? Are you...
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I've never butchered anything before. And
I don't know, I've heard you sing a couple of times.
It's true. It's very good.
On the dessert section, Amy has already peeled the pears she needs to make 3 tart tatins.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And her next task is to make the puff pastry base.
I've never made a tartan. I've never made 3 tart tatins. I've never done it in the rain, and I've never cooked it on an open flame. So, yeah, that's all a bit daunting.
Rough puff is a bit challenging. It's going to take around about an hour and a half till it's ready. So they need to get on that fairly quickly.
Looks all right to me. It looks like pastry.
To give the puff pastry its flaky layers, it needs to be rolled, folded, and left to properly chill before the whole process is repeated once more.
Right, I'm just going to chill these now.
While the pastry rests, Amy can make a start on the caramel base, along with a roasted hazelnut garnish, which needs to begin cooking in cast iron pans over the heat of the fire pit.
Is that hot enough, do you think?
Look what it did to the veg. I think it's hot enough.
It's difficult, do you know what, with sugar work and stuff, you're literally seconds away from, like, burning something. And it's so hard with the fires because you don't know how hot they are, so you're constantly having to move the pans around because you don't know which bit's getting caught by the fires and not. But yeah, it's exhausting.
Just so you know, you've had an hour. 2 hours, and then we're serving lunch.
As the celebs get to grips with their new cooking environment,
We're in the middle of nowhere, freezing cold, grating potatoes, and I might take my finger off, and I don't think I'd even feel it.
nearby, their lunchtime guests are busy building up an appetite.
Got it? There we go.
Scouts is the largest mixed-youth organisation in the UK, and every week nearly 500,000 young people attend sessions where they get to have really fun adventures, meet new people and make new friends, and also learn skills for life. Today there are 20 Scouts, and they're all here as part of their getting prepared for the World Scout Jamboree, putting up tents, packing their backpacks, and doing some outdoor cooking and preparation. When you're outdoors, you really do build up an appetite. It doesn't matter what you're doing. So yes, I expect them to be hungry.
Back in the outside kitchen,
This is wild garlic and ivy for the rusty.
Jamelia and Wynne are racing to get through the long list of elements for their trout dish.
I'm making like a little dipping sauce here. Spring onions, pickled ginger, wild garlic.
Well, that smells amazing.
This is a bottle of fish sauce. It's going in here, a whole bottle of fish sauce.
Their next job is to prepare the trout for cooking. The fillets need to be nailed onto an oak board with fennel, nettles and lemon. A technique known as planking.
I never thought I'd be nailing a fish to a board. Like, what? Oh, yep.
Planking fish is quite a kind of old school technique. You've got the aromatics that you kind of nailing it to, but you also, from your board, get a certain amount of smokiness, all kind of wafts up into it.
How many nails have you put in here?
Yeah, that's too many.
No, I'm just taking mine over. I'm too embarrassed to take the others.
Is this one...
Look at, she's broken the board.
Oh, it's in the chopping board.
You've actually...
I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Look.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Honestly, I'm so sorry.
Right. I'll send you an invoice.
Please do.
Wynne and Jamelia have now got to put that in front of a fire and cook it really slowly so the oils come out of the fish, the flavours of the herbs go through into the fish, and the skin becomes nice and crispy.
Oh.
It may actually look quite medieval as a dish. Big nails hammered into a piece of fish, but actually it's just brilliant.
It's really slow cooking, so I'm going to keep kind of coming back and checking. But yeah, it's incredible. I'm fascinated.
Things are moving slowly over on the venison dish.
I mean, it's not too much longer. That's hot.
Max is still focusing on the vegetable garnishes, while Luca is only just making a start on butchering the venison.
So not too far in, so more that line.
To come further here?
Yeah.
I'd say it's a bit easier than cutting fish because the bones are so thick and you can feel where you are.
Perfect. So run down that again so you can actually feel where you are.
I think me being a bit used to the knife, it helped. So that's maybe why I came in over Max.
Luca, very good job.
Yeah?
That is a lovely fillet.
Let's crack on.
Let's go. What we're doing is we are plaiting those. Sounds weird, but it's actually a very clever way of cooking. We break into 3 strands. You then marinate that. You then plait it.
Into the middle. Into the middle.
So then when you cook it, it cooks a bit more evenly. And then when it comes to actually portioning it up, you lay it down and just slice it like that. Perfect cube-sized chunks.
I'm going to say you need to redo that plait.
Why?
Well, because look, you haven't even plaited that in. It needs to be a plait all the way down from the top.
Do it again.
So I had to replat one. It just was a bit loose for his liking. He wants it nice and tight, like his plats.
I think the guys are getting on fairly well, but they've got quite a lot of stuff to do.
That's going everywhere, isn't it? I need a bigger bowl.
They really have to get on it.
You got a bigger bowl? I'll put it in a bigger bowl.
God, it's taken a while on this flame, isn't it?
Back on the dessert section, Amy is struggling with cooking in the wild.
I've just moved this because it was taking a while to caramelise, so I've moved it directly onto the heat. You can see it bubbling away now.
What Amy has to get her head around is the fact that whatever she cooks on today, she hasn't got a dial to be able to adjust the temperature of whatever it might be.
This is burnt, this is burnt. Oh, no. It's burnt and that's gonna burn. It's just caught, that's why we were doing it gradually, and then I got a bit eager to get it going and put it straight on the coals, but you have to keep such an eye on it if you do that. So we've got to start this again and it takes forever.
While a new batch of caramel has to be made from scratch, Amy is also juggling rolling and folding her puff pastry for a second time.
I don't know how many times I'm meant to do it, so I'm just going and going again. It'll just create more layers, surely.
While keeping her eye on another garnish.
I've got to get this out now.
A white chocolate crumb that needs cooking in the heat of the wood fire oven.
I don't know what it's meant to look like. It's not meant to brown, I don't think, because then it'll burn. Such a fine line. I'm going to just leave it for 2 more minutes.
We walked up here, and we come across, top of barn. Okay.
It's just over an hour before the scouts are due back.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
On the fish course, Wynne is attempting to cook the sauce for the trout over the open fire.
Caper butter, loads and loads of capers chopped up in butter, but cooked in a pan over the flame. So as the butter starts to cook, you get the flavour of the smoke going into that butter.
Ging gang gully 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 gling 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 ding doo. My welly's just got fire.
While Jamelia is shaping the rosties, which have been flavoured with the foraged nettles and ground ivy.
The flavour should be amazing. A lovely green herby flavour. Those rosties should even taste like they're doing you good.
But the cooking of the trout is a concern.
I don't know how long that takes to cook. I don't know if the wind's blowing in the right direction. We might be screaming in 20 minutes. Get me to a cooker down the road.
Time is certainly an issue on the venison course. Max has finally finished his burnt ash salsa.
Smells unbelievable.
And along with Luca, has been prepping the potatoes for the wedge side. But there's still a mountain of work to do and little sense of urgency.
You're all right, mate.
Just so proud of how we're doing.
Luca and Max are having a great time, but too much of a great time, and they are now behind.
Oh, the males fell.
They need to step it up. They need to show a bit of focus, and they need to get on with the job.
Is it legal to work in these circumstances?
I'm confident that it's going to taste good, but it might be tomorrow. That's the only problem.
I don't mean to scare you guys, but in 50 minutes, the scouts will be here. Lunch in 50 minutes.
Over on dessert, Amy is continuing to battle single-handedly through her own long list of jobs. The white chocolate is cooked, cooled and crumbled, and her new batch of caramel is ready to go.
I've got quite a bit to do, but they're starting to look remotely like a tarte tatin, so I'm happy with that. The pastry is looking like puff pastry. You can see the layers. Nice. Yeah.
Her next challenge is to juggle cooking all 3 tarts in the wood fire oven.
A wood oven actually has a very, very hot floor, and she's going to have to be really careful that caramel doesn't cook too much.
I feel like I've been to the most stressful bonfire night ever.
Is your fish cooking?
I don't know. Jamilia's in charge of the fish.
What? Don't...
Can I ask you how many times you've done this in your professional cooking career?
Like fish on a fire like this?
Yeah.
We learned it at school when I was a kid in Australia. Mate, we learned all this stuff.
No wonder you emigrated over here.
Right, OK. You're doing more potato stuff. What about the caper butter?
Done.
The sauce?
Done.
Brilliant. Which is really good, because at the moment, it looks like Max and... Wow.
I mean, that's a joke, innit? Someone's having a gag.
What's amazing is the difference between how everybody's working right now. Win and Jamelia really working very, very hard. The issue they've got is whether the fish is actually cooked. Amy seems to be well on form. Her tarts are in the oven, which is really good, because right now we have got Luca and Max in big, big trouble. They're making mayonnaise for the second time. They spilt the first lot. Their wedges are cooking right now.
We're good. Longer.
Maybe not quite cooked all the way through. The venison hasn't been cooked. It's still marinating. And the flatbreads haven't even seen the light of day. Whether you're sitting, standing over smoke and fire, the scouts are just arriving. You have just 30 minutes to serve lunch.
30 minutes? I want to go home.
Walking does stir up an appetite. I'm definitely excited for this meal.
What do you reckon?
I reckon it needs more cooking, mate.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
With service fast approaching, there's further concern with the cooking of the trout.
Wouldn't you be tempted to move that closer to the fire?
I'm going to move the fire closer to it.
Yeah. Loving it, loving it.
Luca's also racing against the clock. Having rolled out the 20 flatbreads, he's only just started cooking them in the pizza oven.
You've got to keep an eye on it, and if you're slow, it can burn very quickly.
Meanwhile, Max is taking charge of cooking the venison directly on top of hot coals.
Dirty cooking. Got a nice little charcoal bed here.
Yeah.
Give it a bit of waft, get rid of as much of the actual ash.
Yeah.
Straight on.
This dirty cooking of the venison might seem to many people like dropping your meat into a sort of a bag of ash, but the flavour should be amazing. That lovely flavour of the coals and the smoke going through the venison, all that seasoning, fantastic.
Looks mega. Smells amazing as well.
Service is just moments away.
How are they doing? What's going on with the fish?
They're still about 15 degrees under, so they could do with probably another 15, 20 minutes.
With the trout still not cooked and service delayed, Wynne takes on the task of breaking the news to the guests.
Hello. My name's Wynne. I'm usually on the TV with a moustache stuck to my face, right? So we're going to be 10 minutes late, I'm afraid. You're not very hungry, though, are you? No? Thank you.
Back on the dessert, Amy is tackling her final garnish. A burnt cream with a difference.
This is so cool. You literally just put coals into cream. It feels so wrong.
How you getting on, Wynne?
Yeah, OK, it's just the fish. It's quite slow, isn't it?
I'm just hearing a lot of scouts moaning about where their starter is, innit?
At least they know who I am, still relevant to them.
As the trout finishes off,
Yeah, just another couple of seconds.
Jamelia gets on with the last element of the dish, deep frying the foraged nettles in a tempura batter.
I have been stung, but I do find once you get stung, you learn that lesson pretty quickly and realise why you're supposed to use the tweezers.
First course, there's planked trout served with a wild garlic and ground ivy roasty cakes, beetroot steaks, nettle tempura, and a wild garlic and chili dipping sauce. I'm quite curious on the planked trout because I've never really had that kind of fish before.
Incoming tempura. Look at this.
Wow, they look amazing, Jim Jam.
I've had nettle, and I've had people have it before and it tastes good. And it's always something I've wanted to try.
Guys, we need to move. You don't want to be cold.
Oh, that looks amazing, Win.
That's it, go. Right, divide your labour now. Who's doing nettles, who's doing potatoes, who's doing sauces?
I'm going to do nettles.
Right,
I'll do
go.
potatoes.
Go then, let's go, go.
The ivy roasty cakes seem quite out there. I'm quite curious as to how they taste.
It looks and smells fantastic. Ready to go? You happy?
Yeah.
Good. Well done, guys. Brilliant.
At last! Just for the grown-ups, though, yeah?
Oh, thank you.
Enjoy.
Jamelia and Win have made smoked plank trout cooked on a bed of fennel, lemon and nettles, topped with a caper butter, served with foraged ivy nettle rosti cakes, tempura nettles, wood-fired beetroot steaks, and a wild garlic and chili dipping sauce.
There were moments today where I was like, there is no way we are getting anything on the table. And then at the end of the day, just looking at the platter, I'm like, hold on, we did that?
Yeah, that was right up to the wire and beyond the wire, actually. But the fact that we got something edible out, even if it was 15 minutes late.
I've never tried trout before, but it did taste quite nice. It had that smoky kind of sense to it, which I think brings it a much more better flavour.
The rosti cake was crispy, it was light, it had a good texture.
The nettles were really surprising. I've never had nettles like that before. I've been stung by them, but I've never eaten them.
It's very impressive that they've managed to do that over an open fire, because obviously we do that a lot as scouts, but yeah, it's a good inspiration.
Fish is really nicely cooked. I love that. The saltiness of the capers. That tempura is crispy.
The sharpness coming from the fennel underneath the fish is delicious. The rosti's cooked really, really well, and a little faint flavour, almost spinach from those nettles.
I think that's quite amazing, actually. Well done, Jamelia and Win.
So I'm looking for like between 55 and 60. That's saying 56.6. Perfect. So that's good to go.
Thanks to the delay with the fish course, Luca and Max have caught up, and their venison dish will go out on time.
Literally, the last 4 are in there. It was always going to come together with me and Max.
I've never had venison before, so I'm quite excited to try that.
Right, fellas, how's that looking?
Yep, it's looking beautiful.
Happy with that?
We're buzzing.
And if you were a MasterChef judge, how would you describe that?
Restaurant quality.
There you go. There you go.
We just need to make it look pretty now when we serve it.
Go on, Max. Across the boards with your potatoes and your vegetables.
I like my potato veggies to be quite crunchy, crispy on the outside, but then seeming hot and warm and soft on the inside.
I'd be buzzing if this was my lunch. I'm a bit gutted it isn't. Me and Luke are a really good team.
That is a sumptuous feast of a board.
I think it looks unbelievable. I'm really happy with how it's turned out, to be fair. Yeah, I'm just glad Max came, eh?
Boys, that looks amazing. Lots of hard work, but that looks fantastic. Let's feed them.
Right, everyone.
There you go.
Enjoy. Wish I could have that.
Max and Luca have made dirty cooked venison, served with flatbreads, burnt ash salsa, wild garlic wood-fired potato wedges, aubergine steaks, red cabbage slaw, and wild garlic mayo.
Well done, mate.
Well done. Couldn't have done it without you.
No, same, mate. Genuinely, I don't think that could have gone any better. The hardest bit was just being around that oven. It's grim, that thing. It's like hell.
Having a teammate in Max, I think it just topped it. It was icing on the cake, and we worked so well together. So, yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing that. I'm hoping they're enjoying it in there.
The venison was so nice and it was really flavourful. I could definitely taste the smoke. It was quite peppery as well.
The burnt ash salsa was really nice. The kick that it gave to the meal was kind of really lovely.
The bread was really good. It was like wood fired and it's got like a nice smoky taste.
The aubergine steak could have been a bit thinner and cooked for a little bit longer. But yeah, it was good though.
My favourite bit was probably the potato wedges, especially with the garlic mayo. You have wedges a lot, but with the mayo it made them so much better.
I think that all of the tastes just really come together and they just really complement each other. It was cooked perfectly and I just think it was lovely.
That salsa is fantastic. Sweetness of peppers and a lot of chilli. Loads of rosemary in those potatoes.
The flavours are really, really good. That venison has a lovely crust of coriander seeds on the outside. It's been seared really well over those coals, giving a smoky flavour. That's lovely.
My only criticism, a little bit more cookery on the aubergine. But this is some good flavoured stuff.
It looks puffy. I think with the sugar and stuff, it'll be nice, just would have any charry flavour on the bottom.
Pear tart tatin with coal-infused cream, a chocolate crumb, and fire-roasted hazelnuts. I'm very excited to try it. Dessert's the best part of the meal, obviously.
Come on, lift it off. Do you know what that is?
What?
That is a beautiful tart-tatin.
Oh!
I think it sounds really nice. Sounds quite fancy, I'm not gonna lie.
I've never made anything so perfectly looking in my life. Maybe I'm a pastry chef in the making.
Come on, Amy. You happy with the cooking?
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking at the layers.
They're cooked.
Yay!
Right, soil, cream, nuts, let's go.
The chocolate crumb and fire roasted hazelnuts, I think those would be quite intriguing to try.
Whoa, you do good dollops.
Coal-infused cream sounds very interesting to me. Never had it before, so who knows what it tastes like.
I'll tell you what, you've got a good eye for presentation, because that is lovely.
Service, please.
Last 6 plates, there you go, you're done, and what a fantastic job, Amy. Last one. Amy,
Yay!
call them away.
Service, thank you.
Seriously, my friend, how do you feel now?
Oh, so relieved and happy and proud of myself, actually. Oh, look at the layers.
Hang on.
Amy has made wood-fired pear tart tatin, served with a white chocolate crumb, coal-infused cream and roasted hazelnuts.
The pears were cooked really well and they weren't like chewy or anything. It was all tasted really good.
The pastry was really crispy, not a soggy bottom. It was nice and flaky as well.
It had a really good balance of being sweet and it complemented the pastry really well with the sauce.
I especially like the coal-infused cream because, like, it sort of tastes like marshmallows in a way, and it went well with the roasted hazelnuts.
It tastes like something we'd cook on camp, but much better.
Overall, I had a really good day. I thought the meals were amazing.
I love that soil. Pears are juicy, caramel sauce.
And that cream with a little bit of charcoal flavour and just lightly whipped. I think it's a really good dish.
Interesting day, I have to say. It's not easy, what we do. But all in all, I think they did really well.
I'm nothing short of amazed, to be honest. I think this is one of the toughest challenges they've faced. Cooking without gas, without electricity, outside on flame, and the results, I think, have been nothing short of remarkable.
Cook was like nothing I've ever experienced. The amount of smoke that's gone in my eyes is insane. But I really enjoyed it.
I stink, so I need a shower. I'm knackered. But yeah, I feel great. It's been a really good day.
It's not going to get any easier, because next it's back to the Masterchef kitchen. And at the end of that, one of them's going home.
Welcome back here to the Masterchef kitchen, you fabulous five. What a brilliant challenge, the last challenge. Fantastic.
Today, your brief is to cook for us a dish inspired by somebody you admire. It's got to demonstrate skill, it's got to show knowledge, but it's also got to come from the heart. You have 1 hour and 20 minutes, and at the end of this, one of you will be going home. Let's cook.
Chips are on.
Win is impressive because he's got two styles. He's got the hearty and the gutsy, but he's also got the incredibly creative.
The dish today is dedicated to a lady called Hayley Parsons. We used to go to the rugby, drink pints of wine, then end up at the end of the night in somewhere in Cardiff called Chippy Alley. And she'd be going, let's get some chips. And I'd be saying, let's get a curry. No longer would we have to have this conversation because I'll say, let's just get a Cardiff curry.
Look at these spices, Win, all this stuff. What are you making, Win?
Like a chili-infused batter with fresh coriander in it, with a marinated fish inside the batter, chips with a Madras salt, mushy peas, which are mixed in with a dal and coconut cream.
We'll end up with a dish that looks like fish and chips and tastes like a curry.
Yeah, exactly that.
Genius.
We are getting an East meets West fish and chip curry mixture. We've got a piece of battered fish, which is going to be flavoured with curry spices. Crispy batter, please, Win. We've got chips. And then he's going to flavour that with turmeric, cumin, coriander, garam masala. He's taking peas to a completely different level. Mushy peas and split peas. More turmeric, ginger, garlic, the flavours inside a dal. And then on the side of that, he's got a mango and tomato ketchup. This is a big risk for Win. We've all had fish and chips, which means those points have to be perfect, but with the flavours of India on the plate as well.
How on earth did that break? Disaster number one.
This is around about the heart and about emotion, and that is our Jamelia. When she does the food that she grew up with, it can be absolutely delicious.
It has the flavours of the Caribbean, and there's always lots of it.
I'm doing so many things today that I've never done before. But I'm like, you've done it all the other times, you can do it today. Little self-pep talk, but yeah, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling very confident.
Jamelia, you got so much stuff here. What are you making?
I know. Well, I'm making like a little princess party for you guys. So I have 4 princesses of my own. I've got 4 daughters, and who better for inspiration?
What's a princess party?
It's kind of like a mix of an afternoon tea, but what you'd imagine a royal affair to be.
Who would make the better princess, me or John?
I'm scared to answer that.
I can't wait for you to serve us little princesses.
Me neither.
Jamelia's doing 5 different dishes. Our 3 savoury are a cream cheese smoked salmon and jerk tartlet, a Scotch bonnet hummus served with plantain crisps, And then we've got heavenly eggs dyed in beetroot juice, so they will go bright pink. 2 sweet dishes. One Jamila calls a grater cake, a layer of pink grated coconut, white grated coconut, sandwiched together, flavoured with syrup and a tiny bit of ginger. Then the final little sweet dish are strawberries dipped in chocolate, covered with pink biscuits across the top of them. The whole thing has to be dainty and pretty, but full of flavour, and it's got to also thrill.
My biggest challenge is timing and organisation. I've planned a party and it needs to not be a flop.
25 minutes have gone, everybody.
What am I looking for?
Max started this competition as a novice, and actually his rise to the finals has been meteoric.
I know where I'm at standard-wise in comparison to some of the others, but my confidence in cooking has grown loads. We'll even get a takeaway with me and Maze, and I'll be like, could have done with a bit more turmeric in that, actually. Like, who says that? You know what I mean?
Max, what's your dish, please?
I'm making chicken and waffles with mango glazed bacon and fried bananas.
It sounds a very sweet dish. Tell me about this combination, please.
I met a man when I first moved to LA. He was a hippie called Jim. And I didn't have any mates, I didn't know anyone. And he was selling mangoes and bananas on the street, and he became a really close friend of mine, like, took me fishing and stuff. And Jim introduced me to waffles with chicken. I just thought I'd try and incorporate bananas in it somewhere because that's what he sold, mangoes and bananas.
A waffle with banana and mango, lovely. A waffle with maple syrup and bacon and chicken, lovely. A waffle with bacon, chicken, maple syrup, banana and mango? Are they a dessert and a main course together? I just hope it's not all too sweet. Amy is truly ambitious, and she continues to impress. She's just got to hold her nerve. When the going gets tough, she can't get herself in a flap.
It's gone too wet already. I've pushed myself massively because my biggest fear in this competition is the judges saying that I've not really done enough. The only trouble is if I don't pull it off on the end, I'm just an idiot. It's very crumbly, that pastry, I'm worried.
Amy, you've got a dessert. I didn't expect that from you.
Neither did I, and I'm regretting it now.
What's the dish?
A mint chocolate meringue pie with a mint chocolate ice cream.
Who's the person that inspired this creation?
My granddad. He used to take us to table tennis lessons when we were kids, and our favourite time of the day was break time, where we'd get to go to the vending machine with his money, and he'd always make us buy him a mint chocolate bar, and I can't look at one in the shops without thinking of him.
But you're stressing a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, I'm massively stressed.
You're going to be fine.
Oh, thank you.
Amy's dish is in honour of her grandfather. Fantastic, but so technical.
So sharp.
Chocolate short crust pastry, first baked blind, filled with a chocolate custard, and then across the top of that, an Italian meringue which has been glazed and nice and dark. But with a dish like this is about exact recipes. If the pastry's not measured out properly, it goes wrong. If the custard doesn't set, it's wrong. If the meringue doesn't actually work, it's wrong. There's no leeway here. It's either going to be right or it's wrong.
Puff peaks.
You have just 20 minutes. Whoa. How good does that look? We shouldn't be surprised by Luca, really. Look at his food heritage. His father's a fishmonger, and his mother and his grandmother both cook Italian food. He is born into a food family.
I was shocked to get through round one, let alone be here. But as we got into the competition, my competitiveness grew. And yeah, I've been really putting in some hours now and trying to get that trophy.
Who inspired this dish, Luca?
My dad, I would say, inspired it. 90% of the competition I've been cooking for my mum and nonna, so he's had to get a little shout-out in there. He's not a lovey-dovey dad, so he was proud that I got to the final, and to hear that, it was rare.
He wasn't pleased you got through to the final Love Island?
No, I didn't hear much about Love Island when I got home, to be honest. Masterchef, I think, he's obsessed with the show.
So you now know for sure Dad's very proud of you, right?
Yeah, he didn't say it. My mum told me he said it.
Dad's, eh?
Yeah.
We are having what Luca calls a fish stew. He has many different types of seafood. He's got clams, scallops, razor clams with mussels and served in a broth made from tomatoes and crab shells. On top of that, he's going to have a piece of stone bass and a piece of cod, which are both going to be pan-fried. Is it a stew? I don't think it really is, but it should have the flavours that a stew gives, which means it should be robust, but at the same time, it needs to be elegant.
What could go wrong, eh? The finals.
You got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes.
I'm worried about time. I need to chill out and just... Oh, my goodness.
I'm pretending to be calm, because I'm not.
What did they say? I watched Tart. Never bakes.
Cardiff curry's going good. I mean, what is not to love about your mother's chips?
The set, just. I know.
We have just 60 seconds. Finishing up now, please.
What else is to go on there, Jamelia? Tarts?
Yeah, but they've only just cooked, so they'd melt the filling, so I've just put the filling on there instead.
And stop. That's it. Well done.
1 minute there was enough time, and then the next it was just kind of like, oh, maybe there's not. Oh.
Win. Are you ready? Come on.
As a tribute to his close friend, Wyn has made a Cardiff curry, spice-battered hake, triple-cooked chips with a Madras salt, spiced dal mushy peas, served with a mango and tomato ketchup, a coriander and lime vinegar, and a rum and pickled egg cocktail.
Win, I think it looks really smart. It's good, it's fun, it's a classic, fish and chips.
Welcome to Wales.
I love the crispy batter on the outside of that piece of hake. The hake inside is really lovely and it flakes apart. Your chips are great. They are crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. Your mushy peas are fab. The amount of chilli in there is fantastic, and I love the garam masala background, almost smoky in there as well.
I like the coriander and the lime that you've got over this. I like the sweetness in the ketchup that finishes with spice as well. I think you've done brilliantly well. I like the concept, and I'm loving the spicy flavours.
I'm feeling fantastic. They liked the dish. It was probably one of my best cooks, so yeah, great.
In honour of his father, Luca has cooked a selection of seafood, served in a crab and tomato sauce. Showcasing pan-fried stone bass and cod, seared king prawns and scallops, mussels and razor clams cooked in white wine, accompanied by a garlic and parsley crouton.
I admire the work. That's a lot of fish in there, Chef. It's delicious. Each piece of fish you have cooked individually, taking real care and attention, and it shows. You have a rich tomato sauce, really nice sweet prawns. I've got lovely scallops. That's a delight.
Your cod's cooked beautifully. It flakes apart, really nicely seasoned. I like your stone bass because you crisp the skin. The razor clam cleaned beautifully, no grit. The skills are really, really good.
Yeah, I'm proud of what I've put out today, and I'm sure my dad and Nonna would get that down them quite quickly.
As a tribute to her late grandfather's love of mint chocolate bars, Amy has made a chocolate short crust tart filled with chocolate ganache custard and topped with mint Italian meringue, served with a mint white chocolate crumb and a mint choc chip ice cream.
It didn't all go to plan, did it?
Absolutely not.
My tart's starting to break apart here. It could be a bit more elegant. Amy, the tart, it is really rich with mint. In the middle of it, that chocolate ganache is a little bit richer, a bit sort of milky chocolate sweet. Your white chocolate on the side, giving a completely different flavour, almost a nutty flavour because you've roasted the white chocolate. The ice cream, it tastes of mint and it's got little flecks of chocolate running through it, a nice bit of crunch.
If you were trying to nail the flavours of your granddad's favourite chocolate bar, well done, you have. But textures throughout, we've got an issue. The chocolate pastry is a little bit too crumbly. Your meringue, that's still a little bit too liquid. The ice cream, again, needs to set. I would eat it, but it's not perfect.
I'm feeling a bit annoyed at myself, actually. I just got my heart set on the idea and just thought it'd prove that I could do loads of technical things, and all I've proven is that I can't.
As a tribute to her daughters,
shall we?
Jamelia is serving a princess party plate, complete with party hat and bubbles. She's made beetroot-dyed heavenly eggs with a mustard mayonnaise, a puff pastry case with a jerk salmon mousse on the side, coconut and ginger-infused grater cake, and chocolate-covered strawberries.
What are we missing?
So we're missing my Scotch bonnet hummus and the plantain chips.
This is the smoked salmon in the middle?
Yes, so it's deconstructed because, yeah, my timing.
Your little salmon tart is delicious. The pastry works really nice, crumbly. I like the chocolate around the strawberry. The chocolate is a little too thick. The coconut I love. You've managed to get the two layers, the pink and the white, but we're lacking a little bit of presentation.
Absolutely.
Your eggs are good because they've got mustard in there, a little bit of cayenne pepper, but things didn't go to plan. You ran out of time. I'm sad we don't have all the bits on the plate.
Me too. You know when you do something in it, you just know, like, oh, I could have done so much better than that. But I am proud of the fact that I got something on the plate, because honestly, there was a moment where there was going to be nothing.
Inspired by an old friend in LA, Max has made chicken and waffles. Hot and spicy deep-fried chicken with mango and bourbon glazed bacon, waffles, bananas cooked in cinnamon butter, served with maple syrup and a banana milkshake.
I really like your flavours. Love the crisp outside of that chicken. You get the smokiness of paprika and then the heat of chilli right in the middle of your tongue. I think that's very, very good. I was doubtful about banana, mango, chicken and waffle. I was concerned we were going to have dessert and a main course on one plate. I actually think it works really well together.
Thank you.
That contrast of spiciness, sweetness, saltiness is really working for me. It's about 1 million calories a lick, and it's delicious.
Thanks very much. I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. I don't know what to say. Comments like that, I haven't really had that so far, so I'm buzzing with that. Cheers, mate. Fingers crossed.
We had good food. We had technically challenging food, and we had the odd issue. We had the odd error.
Look, I've got to say, though, these five have really surprised me. Every time they come in here, they push themselves, they do something new, something exciting. We've only got 4 places in the next round. That does mean that one of them is leaving us.
Do I have a favourite dish of the day? I think I do. And I think it's young Max. Chicken, bananas and waffles. I wouldn't have imagined that worked.
Maple syrup across the top, that sweetness with the spiciness as well. Good amount of chilli in there. Max nailed it.
Who else would you like?
Well, I think that Win is actually showing progress through the competition. We got really good quality fish and chips, but flavoured with spices we associate with Indian food.
It was brilliant. Put Win through.
Luca pushed himself really, really hard today. I really liked the way in which he handled all the seafood.
What impressed me was the amount of fish cookery and how good all of it was. He's got a great touch. Now, we're talking about 2 people that didn't have the best of days, and that's Jamelia and Amy. Jamelia, I did like the eggs she gave us. I did like the salmon tart.
We didn't get that Scotch bonnet hummus, and we also didn't get the plantain crisps. The chocolate around the strawberry was a little bit too thick.
And we did have a lack of presentation throughout.
Amy wanted to do the flavours of her grandfather's favourite chocolate bar, and she captured that. The thing was, there was things that weren't quite right.
The pastry wasn't quite holding together. Italian meringue on the top wasn't quite set enough. Ice cream wasn't quite set enough. Saying that, I thought the flavours were magnificent.
The fact is that Amy and Jamelia have both been really ambitious, and maybe a bit too ambitious. Whose mistakes can you forgive?
If I went home, I'd obviously be gutted. But at the same time, I'm still so proud to have made it this far.
I'd be annoyed to go home on the back of this cook, because I can cook that dish well. Equally, I would fully understand it if I had to go today. It's fair enough.
Guys, you're great. You work so hard, so hard. We asked you to cook with skill, but we also asked you to cook with emotion and passion. And boy, did you deliver.
At the start of this, we did say we only have 4 places in the next round. That does mean that one of you is leaving us. The celebrity leaving us is Jamelia. Jamelia, you have been a bundle of joy. We've loved having you, loved the flavours, loved your smile, loved your matching outfits.
Honestly, thank you so much for having me. This has literally been a dream come true. I'm so proud of you guys. I know I'm tired, but I love you.
I love you.
Oh, I have to be honest and say I'm absolutely gutted to be going. I really am. But at the same time, I can't help but be proud of myself for getting here. Part of me definitely regrets being so ambitious today. But they do say, go big or go home. And obviously, you know, like the overachiever I am, I've managed to do both.
Congratulations, you guys. You're in Final Four.
It was very much squeaky bum time, but I am so happy to be here. I'll give myself a tap on the back, not a pat.
Ledge. When I got through the first week, I was thrilled. When I go into the semi-final, it was brilliant. Now I'm in the last 4. I'm like, honestly, I'm having the best dream ever. It's fantastic.
I'm buzzing, man. What is going on? Now I've got to put the work in and make sure I'm taken seriously to get to that final 3.
It does mean a lot the more you go on. I've learnt more from this show than any other sort of TV show I've done before. Like, I went into Strictly an awful dancer and I came out even worse. But yeah, it was a brilliant day.
Next time.
Keep going.
The celebrities fight for a place in the final 3.
This is an extraordinary piece of work.
Before facing their biggest challenge yet, Chef's Table.
Bon appetit.
Mentored by one of the UK's most respected talents, Robin Gill.
Woo! I'm happy. Great plate of food. These are very good cooks.
Go big or go home tomorrow at 9 on BBC One. The most coveted Mercury Music Prize is days away. 6 Music has the nominee Lowdown on Sounds. Dogs can always smell a rat, you know. The following events are based on a pack of lies. Just waiting to catch them next on BBC One.
BBC Bite Size has everything from my life